what you're dealing with in your assigned relationship. So which group has A? Okay, tell me what you're comparing. With the stage or the pool number. Okay, that pool number is important. So pool number and number of tiles. Which group is B? Tell me what you're not quitting. Somebody else, tell me what you're comparing.
The actual number of tiles, number of tiles in the actual pool, the water for the water.
The water part. Compared to?
I'm confused. It's well.
This first sentence.
Consider the relation pool number.
The pool number.
Oh yeah.
So you're really not comparing the two. That was a misspoke there. Your the relationship between the pool number and the total number of tiles in the water. Okay. Where's group C? Okay, tell me what you're looking at.
Number of tiles pulled together.
Right. So the total number of tiles, and that's in relationship to what?
The pool number?
The pool number or the stage number. There's lots of words that we use in math for that. Okay.
Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
For C, you're saying it's a relationship, total number of tiles and the border and pulled together.
Yeah,
Isn't
border
that
pulled
combined?
together. Combined.
So why would that be a relation? So a relationship between the stages?
Yes.
Stage, oh, okay.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I probably was very sloppy in my language.
Well, I was like relationship between the border versus the pool. I just will okay.
Somebody else might do that, but not us. Okay, who is group D? Okay, so Rochelle, tell me what relationship you're looking at. Did I say that better, Jennifer?
Yes.
Okay.
The relationship between the pool number
And
to the number of border tiles, and then the pool number to the total number of total tiles.
you're not gonna do two.
Okay.
You're gonna do the pool number with this.
And so total border tiles and total number of total tiles.
Kim, what do you think?
The total number of border tiles over the number of total tiles.
Yes, you use the word over. So that's one quantity right there.
So it's
One
ratio.
quantity. So yes. So pool number compared to this quantity. Okay, and E. All right, tell me what relationship.
We're comparing the pool number to the ratio of actual pool tiles to the total number of tiles.
I didn't hear Tim because somebody was talking, so let's please be quiet. Say that again, Tim.
We're comparing the pool number to the ratio of actual pool tiles to the total number of tiles.
Right, so you all understand the quantities that you're comparing now, right? Because you all told me what you were comparing. And so guess what we're gonna do? I bet you know. We're gonna use a 4-quadrant fold in our chart paper, and we're going to illustrate stages 1 through 5 of the pool with the border, with the drawing of what you have just created in 1 quadrant, the table illustrating your assigned relationship in another quadrant. Sometimes we call that a T-table or T-chart. A graph of your relationship, and it says on the same coordinate plane. That's because I thought I was going to have you do more than one each, but never mind that, okay? Just a graph of the relationship, and then you're going to write a function or a rule for that, and a verbal description. And the verbal description should not contain variables, because we're not talking about variables. What are we talking about?
Tiles.
Tiles that represent quantities of.
Pool
See, this is, I guess, what I'm thinking right now.
The pool and the border.
The board, number of tiles in the border, number of tiles in the actual water of the pool. Okay? So that verbal description is not gonna have variables in it. It's gonna be an explanation in words using the quantities that we're talking about. Okay? So, I am going to give you your graph paper, but just a minute. I have kind of a sort of a chart up there to kind of give you an idea of what to do. to help you. You don't have to follow that, what am I trying to say, Tim? You don't have to do it in that format. You can do it in any format that you want, okay? And this is what you're gonna do. After you do all of that on that chart paper, then you're going to be able to discuss with the class if any relationships are linear. If they are, how do you know? What are the characteristics of linearity? You're gonna have to know or be able to explain the rate of change. It says of the border, but I mean of anything that you do. Is it constant? Is it, does it have a slope? You're gonna have to relate that to the recursive rule and to the explicit rule. Do you remember the difference in those two? Some of you do. After I give you this, I'll scroll forward to that slide that it's a review slide, so I'll scroll forward and we'll review that again, then I'll come back. Any relationships that are proportional, the characteristics of proportionality. Any relationships that are a direct variation, characteristics of a direct variation problem like Kx, and the constant of proportionality. And then you'll also have to do any relationships that are nonlinear. And how do you know? The rate of change for the whatever you're talking about there. Is it constant? Does it have a slope? How is it related to recursive rule, explicit rule, and the rate of change, blah, blah, blah. Okay? I ran these 2 slides off so that you won't have to memorize 2 slides of instructions. Okay, and I'll pass those out as soon as I get the chart paper out. All right? Oh, but before that, I was going to scroll forward to remind you of the, didn't I do a good job here? Got that right off the internet. I did. This is a review of
You
everything.
can't say, you gotta say you just forgot to save your changes.
I
You
did.
edited it, that's why. You
No, I
just
really
forgot to
did.
save your changes.
I really did. So, remember, we talked about functions with input and output. Remember this now? Okay. And we talked about the process. Young children will think of it as addition many times, and then they'll go over to the multiplication piece because multiplication is repeated addition. Remember that? Good. And going down the chart, that's a recursive pattern. Because you have to know the one before it before you can get to this one. So I can't get down to the 1,000th one here without knowing the 999th value. Okay? As opposed to an explicit pattern or rule where you go across. I know what did I do to this 7 to get that 14. So what would I do to any number to get this value over here? Remember this? We did this like 3 days in the summer. Over and over and over again because it's important. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up now.